Hey, thanks for taking the time to join us here on Polk Place and join us in studio. Adam Stanfield from, well, he's the Executive Director and Vice President of Development for Chapters Health Foundation and Chapters Health System.
Yeah.
You know,
Right?
Yeah, we had this talk.
Yeah.
Where you been?
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Our footprint's expanded so much. And, you know, as we were talking about pre-taping, you know, I'm just like everywhere. You know, our footprint is now mainland Florida, so, you know, every day I'm somewhere different. But I'm enjoying the heck out of it. It's my destiny.
Hey, while I have you here, make a commitment to me.
Absolutely.
Your veterans program, send them to see me, will you please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stuff happening there. Yeah. We need to do that quick.
Well, speaking of great stuff, what we want to do is tell the people a little bit about Chapters Health.
Yeah.
Talk to me. It's huge. It's all over Florida.
Right.
But what exactly is it that you do?
So since the last time we met, Chapters Health has now become the nation's largest nonprofit hospice. And that's significant in many, many different ways because obviously as a big company, we can bring a lot of resources to the table. And certainly through what I do, I oversee all the fundraising activities at Chapters, where much of what we do is community-based. So, you know, my team is always, you know, talking with like local contacts about defining what we can do at the local community, working with the school system, bereavement counseling, grief center. We put the state-of-the-art Bethany Center in here at our Lakeland house. So just really, really great stuff. Chapters, through a series of mergers, is now the largest nonprofit hospice in the nation. We've merged with Cornerstone Hospice about a year and a half ago. So they are now part of our family. We announced recently a merger with Hope Hospice, which is Lee, Henry, and Glades counties south of us. And we also merged on the heels of that with Capital Caring Hospice, or Capital Caring Health, out of Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. So we've gone from 7 counties when I first got here to now 41 counties in 5 states or something crazy like that. So really, really good, you know, good time. It's been great and enjoying it very much. Hospice care, palliative care, bereavement, free bereavement services to anybody in the community, grief counseling, all ages, grief camp for children here in you know, Polk County. It's Camp Braveheart, and you know, we send anywhere between 90 and 125 children who've experienced loss over the course of the past year into the woods, much like, you know, camp when you know, we grew up. You know, they do arts and crafts and horse riding and swimming and everything, and you know, our counselors get in there. They deal with children's grief through play because children grieve differently, and so we exhaust them, and then they come back to us, and our counselors can really begin getting in and understanding, you know, what the child is experiencing, strip back the layer of the onion, so to speak, and really focus in on what they're dealing with. And that's important, and a lot of people don't understand this because, you know, if children don't, or anybody, if they don't get their grief mitigated and get put back on a path of health and wellness, there's a whole negative consequence that
it's going to sit there and boil.
Right. And we do work with the school systems. Actually, we've got a pilot program here in Polk County, working with the school system counselors. Paula Creamer, our director of philanthropy here, has worked with our grant writer to get some funding for the development of grief and comfort kits that we are now supplying the school systems and allow their counselors to provide the children these items that are going to help them deal with the grief, not only in the classroom, but then as they go home as well. So that's a whole nother story.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole nother show.
What you're doing is important not only to the community here within Polk County, but like you said, with the footprint. Talk about the importance, whether it be the child or the adult. Talk about the importance of recognizing and understanding the grief that they're going through and seeking help for it.
Yeah, well, you know, grief identifies itself in many, many different ways, and you know, dependent upon the age, you know, is indicative of how people respond. Children grieve differently than adults, and you know, again, much like what I just indicated, that if individuals who've experienced a loss of a family member, significant family member, husband, wife, mother, father, child, it's important for them to come in and talk to somebody about, you know, mitigating that grief or understanding that grief and resolving that grief, because it just becomes debilitating in a lot of different ways. You know, specifically for the children, Some of our teachers out there may wonder why a child's acting out in class, and if they're not conscientious of what's happening in the family, then that very well may be a sign of what's happening. So again, that's important, and again, you want to put that child back on a path of health and wellness, because we've got great examples of sisters having lost a parent coming to us, one coming to us, one not. Yeah. And that one that came to us and went through our counseling and camp and all those other great things that we do, got readjusted and put back, and now she's thriving. She's got a great career. Her sister, not so much, and that carries negative connotations not only for the person, but then also for the services here in the county. Things that are likely are incarceration, addiction, all those things that can be resolved if the individuals are just willing to come in and talk to us.
As they say, fundraising is the lifeblood of a lot of nonprofits, every nonprofit per se. You guys have an event coming up to benefit your Bethany Center.
We do.
Let's talk a little bit about it. And it's a unique fundraising opportunity, and you're going to try and get some people involved to A, bring awareness, and B, most of all, bring money.
Yeah, so what we do at the foundation is really education. Hospice has been around 40, 50 years, still so misunderstood. It's like people say it's a place you go to die. Well, death does happen, but we also deal with life. We deal with life through surviving family members, and that's where, you mentioned our Bethany Center, which is a project that we just completed here about a year and a half ago, a state-of-the-art children's grief center. We also see adults there. It's state-of-the-art in the sense that it has a lot of cool technologies in there, and again, much like what I said, we deal with children's grief through play. It's like super cool, and the children just really resonate well, and it just allows our counselors to come in and really begin doing a great job with them. But the event is Hearts for Hospice. This is our second year. It's modeled after an event that we do over in Hillsborough County that's been running for about 8 years. Called Home Runs for Hospice. Paula Creamer, our Director of Philanthropy, again, introduced it here in Good Shepherd last year over at the Presbyterian Church, on the backside of downtown
Lake Hollingsworth.
Lake Hollingsworth. And it was great. It was, highly successful. It raised about $200,000, and all in support of our children's grief programming, again, at our Lakeland house. And the concept is called benevon. It's a benevon model event. Some programs here, from my experience at SPCA, have attempted to do this. I'm not sure what the success is, but we have a templated model that we're actually replicating throughout the entire state now, and Paula's results are a great indication that what we have going on is working. It relies on table captains. So these are individuals that are prominent in the community. They know a lot of people. They know a lot of individuals that are philanthropically oriented that want to give back to the community, and this event is a way to do that. It's obviously in support of our children's grief center, the Bethany Center, and counseling services that we offer, and it's just an easy thing for people to gravitate to. What we do is we're supposed to contact or stay in touch with these individuals over the course of the, these table captains. We invite them to a tour. We share with them what their efforts are going to go to fund, and then what they do is they pull from their sphere of influence these individuals that are philanthropically oriented to come in and hear our message. And then at the end, you can't be shy about it. It's like it is a fundraiser. So we're going to ask you to support and invest in our program. And we ideally would like to have multi-year gifts, like 5 years.
Yep.
And there's a variety of levels that people can contribute to. And the theory is that we accumulate these funds and we amass them to a point where they can help deliver these great programs. Very similar to what I said about the grief comfort kits and toolkits that we are in partnership with the school system. So net at the end of the day, what we do, I just did orientation yesterday, is like it all comes back to the community. So it's something that I'm very prideful, having worked here in Polk County for 4 years prior to my time at Chapters, and doing great things for Polk County. Such a great population of people, and we just appreciate the opportunity to bring the service.
Well, do me a favor. Don't be a stranger.
Okay. Big time.
Always good to see you.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time, all right?
All right. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Good Shepherd Hospice invites you to the second annual Hearts for Hospice, a Benevon model event. It relies on peer-to-peer fundraising in the form of table captains who graciously invite 6 to 8 individuals from their sphere of influence to the event. Join them Wednesday, October 18th at 8 a.m. at the First Presbyterian Church on Lake Hollingsworth in Lakeland. Now, the proceeds from the Hearts for Hospice will support the Bethany Center, Lakeland's state-of-the-art children's grief center. If you need more information, you can give them a call, 863-559-2944, or look them up on the web at chaptershealth.org. If you enjoyed that episode of Polk Place, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and even check out the next one.